Whitney. Who's that girl? It's Whitney Reynolds. Oh, she's got a show. Catch it on the weekends. Every single Saturday, right at noon. On Chicago's NBC 5.2.
Hello and welcome to Weekends with Whitney. I'm your host, Whitney Reynolds. Today we are talking about child abuse. Now, some of you might be thinking that April was Child Abuse Month and we are in May, but this is not a cause or a topic that just should be talked about in 1 month. We should bring light to this issue all the time because it's going on. Now, Marco Foster, my first guest here, some of you might recognize because he's been in the social scene in Chicago for a number of years, the model scene. I mean, you do a little bit of it all, but you really love causes. You love to put your name behind different things. Thanks, Marco, for coming on the show today.
Well, thanks for having me, Whitney.
Yeah, I'm excited you're here because people probably are at home and they recognize you. I mean, you're all over Facebook, Twitter, and you team up with a lot of charities. But it's with One Hope United, who does talk about foster care and child abuse, that you have a passion for, because you actually have a real life story that's connected with it.
Yes, most definitely. One Hope United, the reason why I really wanted to work with One Hope United is because they not only deal with children, but they also deal with the parents as well, helping the children.
I love that. And so we're going to actually have One Hope United on the show later. But first of all, I want to talk about your story. You know, they deal with foster kids and they deal with children that have been abused. Now, in the foster care system, whenever abuse is going on in a home, now this is not your story, but they go into the foster system if there's abuse going on in the home. And you actually were a foster child yourself.
Yes, I was a foster child for about 7 years. I was adopted by a fantastic lady, Marjorie Foster, which I love so much. She's a senior citizen. Did a great job with me by herself, might add. I'll tell you this, when you are getting moved from home to home, it can be confusing sometimes. There's a lot of emotions that go on when you're in the DCFS system and you're just trying to get your place.
And that system is where kids, they go. Walk us through that a little bit, because I know for me, I don't know a ton about it. You were taken from your home and you go to like a main area where there's tons of kids, or do they immediately place you in another home?
Well, to be honest with you, I was very young when that started. When I was old enough to really remember, it's more, I had my social worker, and then they're basically trying to place you. So, Marco, what do you like, and what kind of people, and you're a child trying to answer these type of questions.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
And it's almost you're not gonna get the proper responses from a child at the age of 4 or 5.
Absolutely,
So,
and then you put abuse on top of that, and that can be really confusing.
Most definitely, because they don't really know what it is,
Absolutely. I know for me as a kid, when my parents went through their divorce, and I still had both parents in my life, my hands peeled. It was one of those things that as like a kid, I didn't express myself enough, but my hands actually just started peeling, and it was something that I never experienced before, but it was because it was very unfamiliar. This was not my normal, typical life that I was used to. So I could only imagine as a little kid, you throw abuse, and then you throw going from home to home. I mean, how many different homes were you in?
Enough.
Was that because you were a troublemaker?
No, you know what? I will tell you this. With the one thing, like I said, with One Hope United, that really makes it a special program is because these children who are getting moved around and they don't have a home, you've got a lot of built-up emotions when it comes to uncertainty, to anger, fear of where they're going to be the next week or month. One Hope United, they also help the parents deal with the children that come with all this baggage.
Wow.
And because it takes a special skill, not everyone can be a foster parent.
Right.
Because it takes a special skill to be able to take that child who has all those emotions and make them feel like they're in a home, even if it's for a short amount of time. So that's a big deal of the reason why I like One Hope United.
That is, yeah. I'm anxious to get them on the set and talk to them about that. But you did. Let's finish your story. You did get adopted.
Yes.
And you love your mama. I mean, she adopted you when you were 7?
Yes.
Okay.
Love my mom. She's fantastic. And it's ironic and funny that her last name was Foster. So
Wow.
I took on her last name.
So Marco Foster is your adopted name, and you went ahead and took it on. It's something that means a lot to you, your personal story. That's why you give back to One Hope United.
Most definitely.
I love that. So thank you so much for volunteering. Would you encourage other people to get out there and do it?
Well, of course. I mean, especially if you have children, it's a perfect way to give back. You know, and it only takes one day a month to mentor a child.
That's awesome.
And just giving them a different world.
Absolutely.
Because taking it from someone who grew up on the south side of Chicago, it's a completely different world on the south side, the west side of Chicago, where generally these type of poverty, abuse, things like that are happening. You know, even though it happens everywhere, but from my personal experience, where you see the rougher parts of the city, when you're able to go over there and, or even take a child with you to a different area and say, hey, this is, you know, there's other things to life.
Absolutely.
And it really opens up a child's eyes, and they can see the future.
And that is the truth. You know, children are the next generation, so it's important to sow back into them. Thank you so much, Marco, for coming on. Guys, coming up next, he talked about One Hope United. We're going to get them on the set right after this break. This portion of Weekends with Whitney is brought to you by AMA Med Spa. The largest medical spa in Illinois has arrived at Deer Park Town Center next to Pier 1. AMA Med Spa, owned by Dr. Lisa Gulcher, provides non-surgical cosmetic procedures. This 4,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility provides not only Botox and other injectables, but also 12 different aesthetic laser procedures. Dr. Gulcher and her dedicated staff will create a treatment plan that fits your needs and budget. Please come by and visit their new amazing med spa and meet their highly experienced and personal staff. You will understand why their clients love them so much. Walk-ins are welcome.